How to play Colossus in 6 minutes or less. Kabam has recently buffed Colossus and they have done really well by him, especially if you like a different kind of playstyle and using synergies. This tanky beast has a lot of synergies. So let's take a look at the beefiness. First, he is immune to Bleed, Incinerate, Cold Snap, and Frostbite, giving him great utility against a lot of different aspects of the game, especially Iceman and Freezer Burn nodes. He is also Armor Break immune against any class but Tech, causing champs like Vision Arcus, Medusa, and Corvus to be less effective, and nodes like Crumbling Armor will not work against him. What really makes him a tank are all the armor buffs he gets in a variety of ways. He can stack up to 20 armor up buffs, normally increasing his rating for each. Any armor up buff he gets after 20 still raises his armor rating, but it is reduced. He first starts the fight with 3 permanent armor buffs plus an extra 2 per X-Men that is added to the team. His special one has a 100% chance to give him a permanent one. However, the most common way to gain them is through a parry. Each well-timed block has a 100% chance to give him one for 15 seconds. His special 2 has a 50% per armor buff he already has to give him another one. So mathematically, if you have 10 armor up buffs and use the special 2, you could gain 5. These last for 15 seconds and can exceed the cap of 20. His signature ability plays a big role in his armor up buffs. It does 2 things based off of the level. First, it has a % chance to give him a 15-second armor buff if he is inflicted with a debuff he is immune to, such as Bleed, Cold Snap, etc. It also has a chance to convert any armor up buff that is expiring into a permanent one. So he doesn't need the Awakening, but it's definitely useful. Through the synergies, you can raise the armor rating even more. He has 3 levels of synergies that will add plus 130 armor from each if you add 1 member from each of his friends' synergies. Also, any X-Men you add to the team from these champs will give you an extra armor up buff at the start of the fight. Here is a comparison of damage reduction with 5 armors, each level of the friend synergy. He also has a synergy with Sunspot that adds another 130 to 330 armor rating based off of Sunspot's signature level. Another nice defensive attribute he has is the opponent's damage is capped at 150% of their attack rating, and if the cap is reached, all his armor buffs are refreshed and he has a flat 50% chance to gain another one, giving him even more ways to gain armor. And if you need an even more damage reduction, Colossus Special 3 does pretty good damage based off of armor and will place a passive fatigue on the opponent, reducing their crit rating while activating his organic steel, making him unstoppable while blocking, allowing you to counter an attack from a block. Also, it increases his armor and resistances by 2% per armor up buff. Okay. Now enough about the defensiveness, and let's get into the offensive juiciness. So all these armor up buffs come into play not only to reduce damage, but also to dish damage. The higher his armor rating is, the higher his attack is on specials and heavy attacks. Plain and simple. This value is capped based on level. Also, each armor up buff increases his critical damage rating, making those yellow numbers go up and up and up and up. You can increase how often he crits by adding any of these champs to the team. The synergy with Juggy does double duty because he will also increase his Colossus attack rating by 1% per armor up buff, as will Unstoppable Colossus. However, the best synergy he has for raising his attack rating is with Omega Red, and that will grant 2% attack per armor up buff. This is considered his best synergy by most. Now, just these abilities on his own makes Colossus a good damage dealer, but he can also gain a 3-second fury by stunning the opponent with a parry or a special 1 and throwing a heavy attack. A well-timed block will stun the opponent even without the parry mastery, but if you have it, and you should, you'll do direct damage with every parry landed. Colossus can also gain a fury for 15 seconds at the beginning of the fight by adding any of these guys to the team. That will give him 50% bonus attack rating, giving him some pretty hefty damage right out the gate. Colossus' special 2 is unblockable and gives him armor up buffs, as we mentioned previously, and is pretty much the damage dealer for Colossus. The most common way to play Colossus is to parry and use the heavy attack to gain armor. Once the special 2 is ready to be fired off, parry, charge the heavy, and get the fury, and launch your unblockable special 2. The higher armor rating you have, the more damage it will do. Also, using the Mutant Mayhem synergy will increase the special attack rating by 12%. This method ramps up his damage pretty fast, but because you have to rely on stuns, fighting against stun immune champs puts Colossus at a disadvantage. Colossus also has some power gain utility. If his ability accuracy is reduced, he gains plus 100% power rate. Adding Emma to your team will activate the Impenetrable Hide synergy and allow Colossus to get 2% increased power gain for each armor up buff. Also, adding Domino will increase power gain by 5%. The masteries I feel benefit him the most are obviously Parry, Physical and Energy Resistance, Block Proficiency, Precision, and Cruelty. But that is it. That is how to play Colossus in 6 minutes or less. Let me know in the comments below, how do you play Colossus? Do you enjoy the new buff with Colossus? Let me know in the comments below and let's discuss. As always, guys, thanks so much for watching. If you guys liked what you saw and you want to see more, please remember to like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter and hit me up in the Discord chat. Thanks, guys. Bye.